Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this time it is next of kin. Next up for the Patrick Swayze Marathon. And this came out in 1989, the same year as Roadhouse. I think this came out later in the year. And it's a decent film. I'll say Next of Kin is a decent film. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I liked it for what it was. I do have issues with it. But Next of Kin is directed by John Irvin. Now, John Irvin before this had done Raw Deal with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Then he had done Hamburger Hill, which is my favorite that the director has done. And I don't think this film did particularly well, but it has a little bit of a cult status nowadays. One thing to say, it does have a great cast when you look into the fact that you have Patrick Swayze as a cop he's from Kentucky, he moved to the city, the Windy City, and his brother, who's back in Kentucky, is played by Liam Neeson. And then they have another brother, and that's Bill Paxton, who sadly he's not in the film too much. Because the way the story starts is Bill Paxton, he's driving a truck, it gets stopped by these guys, these sort of mafia goons led by Adam Baldwin. Adam Baldwin was in Full Metal Jacket, he was in Predator 2. Also along with the bad guys is Ben Stiller, yes, a very young Ben Stiller. He's one of them. And Adam Baldwin kills Bill Paxton. Of course, Patrick Swayze and Liam Neeson find out. Patrick Swayze will try to do it by the book, by the law, while Liam Neeson will try to get justice Kentucky style. Other people in the cast, you have Helen Hunt, who is Patrick Swayze's girlfriend slash wife. There she is right there. Also Michael J. Pollard, who's a character actor you've seen in I Come in Peace, Split Second, Scrooged, Tango and Cash. He makes appearances this as a guy who owns this motel that Liam Neeson stays in. Yeah. Again, pretty impressive cast. I thought Patrick Swayze and Liam Neeson both did a good job. It was cool to see them as brothers. One thing I will say against the film, it feels like it takes a while for it to get going, and it's definitely, if the same year he did Roadhouse, if you're expecting as much of an action-packed movie as Roadhouse, you would be disappointed, because there's really not much action in the film. It's a bit too slow-paced for my liking, especially for a film that's, what was it, an hour, almost an hour and 50 minutes. That's with the credits. So either some stuff could have been cut out for a faster pace, or maybe some more action would have been appreciated. But Swayze does a good job as a cop. There's a moment early on where he talks down, actually Ted Levine from Silence of the Lambs and The Mangler talks him down so he doesn't get shot. That was a nice sequence that displays Swayze's acting, as well as the character that he's not just a run and gun guy, that he does think things through. And he does care for his fellow redneck. Liam Neeson and Swayze's characters have tension between them because he doesn't like that Swayze left home to be a city cop. Liam Neeson, when he comes into town, he shoots up Adam Baldwin's place, shoots up his pinball machines. He's chased by the bad guys. He jumps on this train. Then he jumps into another train that's going the other way. But, I mean, there's some nice moments between Swayze and Liam Neeson, like the moment when Swayze tells Liam Neeson, hey, you're going to be an uncle. And Liam Neeson's like, really? Well, damn. And there's some nice moments of rapport between the two. Liam Neeson's character, he gets shot, dies in Swayze's arms, and then that's when you get to the finale, where the other next of kin come from Kentucky to the city and join with Patrick Swayze to attack the bad guys in the cemetery. I thought that was an interesting choice for a finale in the cemetery. Before that, there's the cool little moment where Swayze throws a guy through the window, and when the other guys get out, they find out that Swayze wrote, "You forgot one," as in you forgot one brother. And there's some decent moments in the finale. Yeah, people get shot with arrows, knives get thrown. The kin come in. One throws an axe to another guy's chest. Hound dogs are used. Bear traps are used. Adam Baldwin gets the shit beat out of him by Patrick Swayze. Swayze's not the martial arts guy in Roadhouse. He's played a different character, but again, it's one of those things where the movie itself, like I said, it's a decent film because of the cast, and mainly that's why, because of the cast, because I am a Patrick Swayze fan, may he rest in peace. I am a Liam Neeson fan. Yeah, sometimes their accents are, not a little bit disappear at points, but I'm not too bothered by it. I'm sure other people would be more bothered by it. Sometimes that's the case when people try to do a southern accent. But I thought, again, I've seen much worse, so that didn't bother me as it did other people. Adam Baldwin, he'd always play like a slimy bad guy that you just love to hate. He just had the demeanor and look of him. Ben Stiller, again, he has a couple moments. I mean, yeah, he is a villain, but it's not like a... I don't want to paint the picture that, he's yelling and screaming or anything like that. He's just, one of the guys who just hang around, and he's the son of the big mafia boss. But he pretty much just hangs around with Adam Baldwin, and later on gets found dead via being burned. Because Adam Baldwin killed him and then framed Liam Neeson, and then later on the dad, the mafia boss, finds out Adam Baldwin did it, and he's the one who kills Adam Baldwin, the mafia guy. Like, this is from my son. But yeah, I mean, the movie as a whole, the slow pacing, it taking quite a bit for it to get going, I think does hurt the film. I think the lack of action hurts the film. The ending is fun, but it's not like, oh wow, it was worth it. Like, this is a balls to the wall finale. It's a decent finale. Helen Hunt, I like her as an actress. The character she plays, it's pretty much a throwaway character, meaning anyone could have played it. It just so happens to be Helen Hunt. She's just there to have a few conversations with Swayze and then tell him that she's pregnant. But yeah, the Razzies can go fuck themselves. I say that because for this at Roadhouse, they nominated Patrick Swayze for Worst Actor of the Year. And yet again, it shows why the Razzies are one of the biggest pieces of shits out there. And the Razzies, they should be fucking banned. I don't care, this is a joke. Well, you know what a joke has to be? Fucking funny. And they're about as funny as a fucking funeral while it's on fire. So, fuck the Razzies. They stick 50,000 fucking raspberries up their ass for all I care. But like I said, The Swayze does a good job. There's some scenes where then they're in the Appalachian Mountains. Part of me wonders if that would have been interesting if somehow the bad guys followed him and his team to the Appalachian Mountains, so they fought him on their own turf. But yeah, I mean, more action would have been nice. A faster pace would have been nice. But overall, it's worth a look for the cast. You know, Swayze does a good job. Liam Neeson does a good job. Again, nice to see people like Bill Paxton, Adam Baldwin, Helen Hunt, Ben Stiller. Interesting cast. That's really the big plus of the film. It's not a Swayze film I rewatch a lot. It's not a Swayze that would be... It's not a Swayze film that would be in my top 5. I mean, I would put Uncommon Valor, Red Dawn, Roadhouse, Ghost, Black Dog, and others above it. I would put Steel Dawn, which I haven't seen in forever, but I remember liking the film. I do know I would put that above this. But again, it's worth a watch if you like Swayze. So thanks for watching. Take care, and stay tuned for more reviews later.